What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV, man. Now, it is rumored that Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Primetime Sanders is finalizing a deal to become Jackson State University's head football coach. Yes, it is rumored that Deion Sanders will be the head football coach at this historically black college. And this is really this is another game changer, another step to getting HBCUs back to their days of prominence and even a step beyond that, right? Listen, with this move, having Deion Sanders as head coach of JSU, like the big dollars, and I'm talking about millions, will be rerouted back into historically black colleges and universities. Well, not back into the schools, but they will be rerouted into the schools in the first place, because back in the day, they weren't generating all these mega millions that the big time programs are producing. But with Deion Sanders at the helm, things could change for the better, and in a major way. I'm not talking about on a minuscule scale. Think about this, man. With Deion Sanders as the head coach, Deion it will change recruiting in the state of Mississippi in general, in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, a lot of those kids that are the 4- and 5-star recruits coming out of Mississippi, they're not going to be attracted to a school like Jackson State University because they don't have the resources, all these luxurious things that a Mississippi State or an Ole Miss has, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: they may not. But with Deion Sanders there, that's a different type of an allure at a school. Deion has the charisma, the swagger, I don't know, he has the it factor to make kids want to play for him. They will believe in whatever he is doing and want to play for him because, let's be honest, a lot of these young kids, their fathers grew up watching Deion and really looking at Deion like he was the greatest thing to ever play football and the greatest thing since sliced bread. So a father would of course he would want his son to go play for Deion, right? And even if it's just a mother, Deion has a way he has, again, a swagger to attract these kids to play for him and want to buy into what he has going on. Not only is Deion Sanders just a former professional football player, the man is the greatest player to ever play his position. One of the greatest football players to ever walk the face of the earth. Why wouldn't a young man that's trying to go to the NFL, why wouldn't he want to receive tutelage from an individual like this? Why wouldn't he want to be coached by Deion Sanders? Like for real. If Deion Sanders goes and walks into your home and is trying to get you to come to his program, it's a different type of feel, man. It's a different type of feel than an older guy that can't really relate to you. I'm gonna say it. An older white guy that probably can't relate to you or what you have or where you come from or the conditions in which you live. They probably can't relate to that. Deion Sanders can relate to that for real. He really can. He came from those same situations and same circumstances, I believe, in Fort Myers, Florida. Y'all can correct me if I'm getting this hometown wrong, but I believe Fort Myers. Deion knows their situations all too well. And they looking like, man, this guy came from the same situation that I came from and he made it. I want to listen to whatever he has to say, and I want to do whatever he thinks I should do to get to that next level, man. And with a Deion Sanders there, and he can bring in these big recruits, I think Deion can recruit the 4- and 5-star guys to come play for him. And with those 4- and 5-star recruits there, the major TV networks will be forced to put Jackson State University on TV. I don't care if they're playing against my alma mater, Mississippi Valley State University. I don't care if they're playing against all SWAC games. I don't care if they're playing against Grambling, Southern, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, whoever. The TV stations will want to, the networks will want to put JSU on TV because not only do they want to market or document the success of Deion at this program, they really want to see how these 4- and 5-star recruits fare at this program and how they turn out. And if the programs want to showcase Jackson State University on television, guess what they have to do? They have to reach TV deals and ultimately have to pay money to JSU, to be presented for them to present them on TV. If you want their team on the TV, you got to pay their university. You got to get them some money. And with the money that JSU will get from these major TV deals, it will be funneled into not only the football program, but also the academic departments, all these academic programs, right? Which will give JSU and those students at the university the resources that they need to compete with the other schools, not only athletically, but academically, to get their students prepared for the rigors of society after college, just as well as the other institutions do as well, right? And that will make more kids at HBCUs be better prepared to be successful after the college world is over with. You know what I mean? When they have the better resources. So again, the big dollars that the big dollars that Deion Sanders can help bring into the university will also not only do good for the athletic program, and I mean, not only for football, all the other athletic programs, it will increase their budgets as well, but it will also do wonders for the academic affairs of the university, right? It can help beautify the school, give new dormitories for the kids, new facilities for the kids, to maybe new libraries, new all type of things to help their academic endeavors. You know what I mean? And that's wonderful for HBCUs who are often underfunded. And this is the thing. I hear a lot of people saying, well, why are people pushing for these players to go to HBCUs? Why do they have to go to historically black colleges? Why can they only go to HBCUs? Listen, nobody is saying these kids can only go to HBCUs. Nobody is saying that Pro Football Hall of Famers only have to coach at HBCUs. What we're saying is, after the talent started to shift and they started to go to these power conferences, when they started to go play at the Big Ten schools, the SEC schools, the ACC schools, so on and so forth. After that started to happen, you started to see the HBCUs just fall to the wayside. They were underfunded. They were at risk of being closed. They were at risk of closing consistently all the time. They had no money to stay afloat when these institutions were the very institutions that gave a lot of black kids their chance to get an education and a chance to succeed in life, because they couldn't go to the other predominantly white institutions because of segregation, right? And all these premier Hall of Famers that were in the NFL, a lot of them came from HBCUs from the start, right? Let's talk about all the Hall of Famers that came from the HBCUs. We had Walter Payton came from Jackson State University. We had Jerry Rice, they came from Mississippi Valley State University, my alma mater. You had Michael Strahan came from Texas Southern. Yeah, all these different players that Doug Williams came from Grambling State University. These are guys who did great things in a professional, at the NFL level, right? And the only chance that they had was some of them. Not some of them had, because Jerry Rice had scholarships to other schools. But I mean, back in the day, a lot of individuals. Shannon Sharp, another professional Pro Football Hall of Famer. They didn't get a chance and opportunity from these big schools. The HBCUs were the schools that gave them their opportunity. The HBCUs were their only shot to even further their dream of playing collegiate football and possibly get into the NFL, which they did. The HBCUs gave them their chance. So why not make sure the schools that gave these other professional football Hall of Famers their chance to succeed, why not make sure they stay afloat? You know what I mean? Other kids, yes, black kids can go to the other predominantly white institutions, but we need some top athletes at these HBCUs to make sure that they're able to stay afloat and stay open. You know what I mean? To stay open and thriving, to help other kids, to help the black student body be able to get the resources that they need to be better prepared for the rigors of the real world, and also to help the other kids who are at these schools playing at Jackson State, Florida A&M, playing at Hampton, and so on and so forth. They don't have the resources that the big schools have. And a lot of times, therefore, they aren't prepared to even play football at the next level sometimes, because they have a lot of they have things that are inadequate compared to other institutions, right? They don't have a meal plan. They don't have not a meal plan. They don't have like a nutritionist at their school to help them eat the right things to be better prepared to play the game of football, right? And so they're not equipped to play against these big time schools, which you see in these money games. When these HBCUs play these big time programs and they get, overpowered because they don't have the same resources. They don't have the same weight rooms as these other institutions. And with a head coach like Deion Sanders being there, oh my God, man, so much money can be funneled back into the HBCUs to keep these programs able to compete against all other schools, not just against other HBCUs, which is phenomenal. And again, I know y'all going to say you need the talent to compete against these other HBCUs as well. But I really think that Deion Sanders coming into your living room and talking to your parents and talking to you, talking to those kids, will convince those kids to come to Jackson State University. It don't matter what Ole Miss got and what Mississippi State got. I think that Deion can get those kids to really buy in and believe in him. He got the same swagger they got. He got the edge that those kids have, and they relate to him. So they want to play for a guy like that. And I think this is just wonderful for Jackson State University. If this shall happen, if this is true, man, I just think that it would do wonders for this school, and I think it will be the start of, other individuals coming to HBCUs and try to turn the programs around for the better to keep these schools open, man. A lot of times HBCUs are in areas where, these colleges, they service a lot of the community. These colleges are a lot of times some of the only options for the kids in the area. They want to go to school. They want to get an education. They want to be able to succeed in life. They want to get degrees to be able to be qualified to do certain jobs. And these HBCUs give them the opportunity. These HBCUs, Mississippi Valley State and Itta-Bena, Mississippi. A lot of people in Mississippi don't even know where Itta-Bena is, but my heart and soul, some of my heart and soul resides in Itta-Bena because that place welcomed me with open arms like I was a native son, right? And MVSU educated so many kids in the Delta, so many black kids that came from poverty, that came from nothing, and gave them a way, an opportunity to succeed in life. You know what I mean? With what we learned at that institution, I want the doors of MVSU to always be open. Same thing for Jackson State. I'm sure they educated so many black kids that came from nothing and came from hardly anything. But they gave them hope at this institution, and they instilled a lot of knowledge in them that they were able to take into the professional world and be able to thrive in. They were able to thrive with their education from Jackson State University and feed their families, feed their children with it. You know what I mean? So we want the doors of a JSU to always stay open. We want the doors of the smaller scale HBCUs to stay open. Arkansas Pine Bluff. We want Bethune-Cookman to stay open. We want I'm trying to think of some other Prairie View A&M. We want Alabama A&M, Alabama State. We want these schools to stay open. We want them to always stay open so that they can educate the individuals, the young black kids in the area who need that education to be able to succeed in life. They don't have much. They don't come from much. But they need that school to be open to educate them and to give them the credentials to be able to work wherever they want to work in, whatever field they want to work in. So the doors of these schools got to stay open. And a way for the doors to stay open is to get them to be able to get them money to stay open. And the way to get them money is, and unfortunately it's like this, but through the athletic programs. When you get just imagine if one day a LeBron James, when he retires from basketball, retires from the NBA, if he goes to coach at Mississippi Valley State, well, we have two-time NBA champion Lindsey Hunter coaching MVSU now. If LeBron goes to coach at Mississippi Valley State University, he goes to coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. He goes to coach at Southern University. If he goes to coach at what's my other school called? What is it called? If he goes to coach at Bowie State, if he goes to coach at University of Maryland Eastern Shores or something like that, just imagine what it would do for that school. So much money will be brought into that institution. It will be absolutely crazy. If LeBron goes to coach at Morgan State University, it'd be like, wow, the effect of that will be tremendous. Same way if Kevin Durant would do the same thing if he goes to coach at one of those lower scale HBCUs who may not get the funding that the Howard universities get, that the Hampton universities get. Just imagine, the doors will stay open and resources will be funneled into the university to help these kids be better prepared to be journalists, better prepared to be pharmacists, better prepared to be teachers, educators themselves, better prepared to be all different type of things. Whether they want to be a nurse. It will give them so much resources to be better prepared to be nurses or veterinarians and stuff like that. If those prominent individuals come back to the black colleges and give service, and they will not only that, they will be historic in these regions for sparking change, right? And Deion Sanders is a part of sparking a change for HBCUs if this move shall be completed. And I'm rooting for this move to happen. I really am. Even though Jackson State University is the rival of MBSU, I'm rooting for this to happen. This needs to happen. And I think it would just spark a trend for HBCUs. If Deion Sanders can go back prime time, one of the great, people across the world admire Deion Sanders. For real. They think he is one of the football, quote unquote, gods, right? They look at him like he is the icon, which he is an icon, a living legend, right? If he goes to coach at an HBCU, you know how many other coaches will be inspired to do the same? How many other black coaches will think, man, I need to give service to an HBCU and give back and help these programs and help these young men reach their lifelong dreams. You know how many kids at HBCUs also want to play professional football, right? You know what I mean? And they wanted to be able to be coached right and have the proper resources to be able to do that. Now, I know everybody doesn't have the talent to play at the NFL level, but you know, sometimes the playing field can be evened with better resources at programs, right? And again, the recruiting efforts. If a LeBron James was coaching at Arkansas Pine Bluff or Morgan State, man, 5-star and 4-star recruits gonna line up to play for him. Because they want to learn from this guy that is a basketball savant. They want to learn from the football savant, Deion Sanders. He knows the X's and O's of the game. Why wouldn't you want to be coached by Deion Sanders? The kids gonna come and they gonna form a line. And they gonna come in droves, right? Yes, other kids will still go to Ole Miss and Mississippi State because some of them are attracted to the allure of being at a big program and having the luxuries that the big program provides. But JSU, along with other HBCUs, will be able to provide those same luxuries, you know, if we have money being funneled into the universities from these athletic programs and the TV deals and all of that. Oh my God, the HBCUs would definitely have the bread to have the same luxuries as a University of Arkansas, Ole Miss, as University of Alabama, as Ohio State University. They can have the same luxuries if they have some top talent that will take their risk and take their sacrifice and come there and ball out. And all it takes is an individual who has influence, like Deion Sanders, to come to the program and to spark a change just like that. So I'm rooting for this change to happen. I'm rooting for Deion Sanders to be the head coach of Jackson State University because I want to see these changes occur, and I want to see the HBCUs stay open and thrive and keep educating the black youth of America. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.